What's good with it? It's your boy, Simon Phoenix. This is Shots Fired Podcast. What up? What up? What up? Shoot your shot. Gun Rules Finest Podcast. That's right. Shots fired. Bang, bang. Yo, what's good with it? It's your boy, Simon Phoenix, Shots Fired Podcast, Sunday Night Rant. If you are new to the show, the information here, that's how you get your topic on the show, and this is a topic-driven show. Get it, got it, good. All right, let's get off into it with no delay. So the first one says, yo, Simon Phoenix, are you aware that there is a trend called the dirty white girl? This is where you wear scuffed up, beat up, or dirty Air Force Ones. No. Hell no.
I smell bullshit. That's what I'm saying. I smell bullshit. Lies and deceit.
Yeah, this is definitely some bullshit. Definitely. Like, what are you doing? You are going to get cute and beautiful, and then you're going to put on some, as my brother would call them, biscuits? Are you for real? I did do some research, though. I did do what they say, my due diligence. And checked it out. And this is a real thing. This is a real thing. People are really beating up gym shoes to rock them. I thought this was just like maybe a crazy Midwest thing. Maybe this was a you're not part of shoe culture thing. I was hoping it was something like that. But nah. This is a bogus trend. This is some of that young people bullshit. It's definitely one of those things that it's gonna get a fail. Nah, we not doing that. Definitely not. We not doing that. So, thank you for that bogus ass question. Dirty Air Force Ones? A trend? Preposterous. Completely crazy. Okay. Let's get off into the next one. A little more hip hop controversy, I'm sure. So this one says, yo, Simon Phoenix, have you seen the argument Too Short versus E40? Your thoughts? I really had to think about this one because my initial argument was, what was the context? How did we get to E40 versus Too Short? So then the person sent me one of those pictures that has multiple MCs on it, and it was like one has to go, and the argument ensued somewhere in there. And so I was like, okay. So I guess the real question for me is, are you asking an MC question or are you asking an artistic question? They do matter, right? So if you're asking a artistic question, then I would say Too Short, legendary, has rapped with everybody, has a classic joint with Biggie, has a classic joint with Pac, just has made his rounds with everyone, right? And has enough party songs, whether they're his or he's a feature, that you could really pop a party off banging Too Short type joints. And Too Short is the guy that brung us bitch. Y'all know. So with that being said, it's Too Short legendary. It's really hard to come up with a hard case against Too Short. Any critique you're going to do against Too Short will be based on simplicity of his rhymes. We all know it. He's very ABC lyrically. Outside of that, though, he make up for everything else: swag, energy, pace of his flow, delivery, classic sayings. He gonna get all of that in. So you really got to give him a lot of respect. But then you look at E40, and he seems to be the underdog in the argument, both from the Bay Area. But then you start looking at E40's track record, right? You start looking at that track record. E40 started looking good. Let's see, started around the same time. E40 was banging and working hard in the late 80s. E40 is a master of slang. E40 has hits. So Too Short might have better solo projects or better albums. We might could have a argument there. But outside of that, you talking about getting a party go to E40 got a lot of them joints. Remember that You and That Booty? He has some hits attached to his name. I think we forget about him because a lot of those hits are featured songs. But he does appear on a lot of those songs, and he's not a garbage verse guy. If you get an E40 verse, he's bringing the flavor. No doubt about it. He is bringing a banging verse. He's not playing with you. And I think he is one of the most entertaining MCs in hip hop and doesn't get the kind of credit he deserves. He's very much in that. And I wouldn't compare him to this person normally, but when it comes to being animated as a rapper, E40 makes me think of guys like Busta Rhymes, our boy Mr. Cow, MCs of that nature who are going to give you that kind of flow that's a little bit everywhere with the energy. So when you get to looking at his resume, I mean, E40 resume looks just as good as Too Short. He's appeared on songs with Little John, songs with the Young Bloods, songs with Big Sean, K Dot, 2 Chainz. The list goes on. I mean, the man's resume is hard. You understand? When you really paying attention, when you really get to looking at the numbers, yo, he's done everything you can ask somebody to do. Ran an independent label, been signed to multiple major deals. So when I started looking that way, I'm like, him and Too Short do kind of, match up very, very well in an argument of who would you like better. And then that puts me in a predicament of who do I really, really like better. For me, as much as I would like to give it to Too Short, I'm going to say the MC part makes me have to look at E40 and say E40 is my pick. If the rapper in me is really being respectful to the art of hip hop, I'm going to say E40 is my pick because of the flow, because of the swag, because of his lyrical content. And he has enough hits to make it where if they did a versus and E40 did his top joints that was club bangers, he could ride and fight against a lot of people with the level of joints that he appears on. It is ridiculous. I mean, if somebody was giving out stimulus packets for guest appearances, he would be one of those guys. So that is my long-winded breakdown of that. Now let's get into our last one. I'm going to preference this one here with I do not mean to offend anyone's statement. This was sent to me, and the person asked to be anonymous. But y'all already know I don't read who sends me that. I let y'all be anonymous because I have a lot of people send me the same, a lot of same people send me stuff. So I don't want them to, they don't want to be known. So I don't put their name out there. All of that being said, the next one is this. Recently in the Midwest, a homecoming or dance equivalent young man had to walk down the aisle with a girl that wanted to be identified as a stud. So basically, what this is saying is that at some formal dance, a young man was told that he was supposed to walk down. They were going to be king and queen, and or they were going for the competition of being king and queen, and he had to walk with a stud. What is my thoughts behind this? This is simple, really. If you're being honest with yourself, and this is not against anyone in the LGBTQ community, I think both of the children were put in a bad situation. If the girl identifies, wait, let me explain first. For those who wouldn't know, but I've assumed most of y'all do, but I still will explain for those of my fans who don't know. A stud is somebody who is a girl who identifies more in the boy lane, more masculine, and they're going to dress and behave more like a man. That is what this is. So that type of person to go to a formal dance, right? They're probably going to have a female date because they're into girls. So if they made court, right? They made a homecoming court or a swirl court or whatever kind of court it was for this event. I'm assuming it's homecoming because it's homecoming time of year. My brain would say, why didn't the adults have the stud come down with a girl as her escort? That would be respecting their wishes of their sexual identity. And then the young man would be escorted down by a girl. That would seem to be the obvious choice. But these adults, in their great wisdom, decided to have the boy supposedly take the girl, and it didn't go very well. I'm assuming, since you sent me this question. So this sounds like he probably was like, no, because they like dudes and look like a dude, and I don't want to walk down with them because I like girls. So this is a dropping the ball by adults, and it comes off very sensitive and unaware. And I'm not an advocate for either side of the street, but it would seem to me that if it was a formal event and you were nominated to be on court and you were a girl that represented being a stud and you like girls, you wouldn't want to go down the aisle with a dude. I'm just saying. And if you're a dude, you don't want to go down that aisle with a stud. So how wouldn't adults in their great wisdom not understand this? That's what I'm trying to wrap my mind around. But like I said, it has to be on the adults. You dropped the ball. You failed the children in this moment. And once again, your idea of inclusion is to make everybody look stupid. Thank you. Y'all got to get it together. Fast, not slow. Okay, so that's going to do it for tonight's show. I want to thank Speedy for being my guest this week. Thank you for coming to the show. Make sure you go check out his project. He's on all streaming media. That's Guapped Up Speedy. So make sure you do that. I have been Simon Phoenix. This has been Shots Fired Podcast Sunday Night Rant. If you would like your topic on the show, follow the information on the screen. Okay? Holla at your boy. I'm gone.